Listen, welcome back. I'm so excited you're here. I want to talk to you about wearables. Does anyone here wear a wearable? I have a Whoop strap. There's many out there, Fitbits, Apple Watches, all of the things, okay? But I wanted to talk to you about something. I wore a health tracker. I wore my Whoop every single day for 30 days, and what it showed me actually changed how I thought about my own hormonal health. So today I wanted to break that down, what the data meant, what it missed, and how you can use a wearable to maybe have smarter conversations with your doctors. Okay? You know me. I'm Dr. Sarah with Lush Lifestyle. I practice integrated medicine in Sarasota, Florida, and we see patients virtually too. As a physician, I think wearables are genuinely exciting, but most people don't know how to translate the data into action, right? Sometimes in the world we live in now, we're very data heavy. Okay, I have this wearable. Okay, I have a CGM. I have all this data coming at me, but what does it mean? All right, this is what I'm here to tell you and why you should be working with someone who does understand it. Okay, so what I tracked and what I found out. I was tracking heart rate variability, resting heart rate, sleep stages, sleep latency, and my activity. Okay. So week one, my heart rate, my HRV tanked, my heart rate variability tanked, which is one of the best indicators of nervous system stress in recovery. It can mean that the body is under like a chronic stress state. Okay. And guess what? That week was the week before my period. Really, something really cool about wearables that the companies are trying to get better at. But this is the one pet peeve I have with them is that is normal. In a woman's cycle and that luteal phase when our estrogen is going down and it's at the lowest that is, it's normal for our heart rate variability to go down. Okay. But it also shows you that low estrogen, right? Having low estrogen as we get through perimenopause and menopause really does affect our overall well being. Okay. Then I started noticing in my luteal phase that my deep sleep was constantly a problem, right? It was 1 hour, it was less than an hour that whole week before my period. But then I got my period and my deep sleep went up. Okay. Here we go. But remember, not even just from a woman perspective, looking at this, we can identify a problem. Deep sleep is when growth hormone is released. Cortisol resleeps in deep sleep. Your body repairs itself. Less deep sleep means more cortisol dysregulation, right? Which means more cravings, more fat storage, more mood issues. Okay, so having a wearable can give us valuable information about who you are because that's how you practice precision guided medicine, right? I need to know who you are and what you're doing. Okay. So these things can be, can be really amazing. It also is able to show me and track my movement and how that changes my heart rate variability and how it changes my sleep. What I found was on the days that I did a 20-minute walk after dinner, now I always work out in the morning, but I did a 20-minute walk after dinner, my deep sleep went up. My sleep quality was better. And I tested this. I took it away and I didn't do my 20-minute walk for a couple of nights and it went back down. This is crazy. This is data, but it has to be interpreted correctly. All right. The honest truth about wearables is that they're an incredible thing, but they're not a replacement, right, for hard work. They're not a replacement for lab work, and they're not a replacement for a consult with a physician because we need someone to interpret this. Okay. So what I love about using these with my patients is I can see and show them the data. I can see, oh my goodness, the week, like on the weekend after when you're drinking alcohol, right? Your deep sleep goes down. Right? I can say to a woman that I'm treating that I can see that what we do and how her sleep is actually affected by what we do. So we look at the wearable, then we give her some progesterone. How did that change her deep sleep, her sleep latency, right? And woman that maybe we're on progesterone and then we think we need to go up more. Okay, we give her that and guess what? Then we see her sleep. We have actual data to show us what's actually happening and what's going on and what we're changing. This is precision guided medicine. Okay. It's real world information about what your body's doing on a daily basis. We pair a wearable with a CGM looking at our blood sugar. What happens when we eat this? What happens when we do this workout? What happens when we do that workout? It is really amazing, right? Data, we can use data to look at, the changes in the menstrual cycle. We can use data to look at when we go on a peptide. We can use data to look at what happens when we change our diet or when we're doing different workouts, right? I love to see wearable data. Okay. I love to see people being involved in really getting that precision guided information for who you are in your body and what it's doing. But it does have its limitations and it does need to be interpreted by a provider or physician who actually knows what's going on in the body. What I don't like to see and what does scare me is when people are interpreting their data and then making changes that you shouldn't be doing, right? That you shouldn't be doing. So wearables are amazing, but you need to work with a provider physician who understands what's going on in the body, right? And who can help guide us. But the first step is getting your data, right? If you really want to find out what longevity means for you and health span for you and your body, stop with the generalities, right? Let's look at our data and see where we are. Okay? Until next time, remember, share it with a friend. Be kind.